So today we're learning about simple and compound interest. Interest is the amount earned or paid for the use of money. Principal is the amount of money deposited or borrowed. Simple interest is interest that is earned or paid only on the principal. An annual interest rate is a percent of the principal earned or paid per year. Okay, so the simple interest formula says that interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. When we're using this formula, rate is always a decimal and time is always in years. To better understand what simple annual interest is and how to use the formula for simple interest, let's try this example. A $1,000 bond earns 6% simple annual interest. What is the interest earned after 4 years? So we said that the formula for simple interest was interest equals principal times rate times time. Do we know what the principal is? $1,000. The principal equals $1,000. What is the rate? 6% is the rate. So we know that rate is always a percent, but we're using the rate as a decimal. So how do we write 6% as a decimal? 0.06. And time? How much time? 4 years. And we said we wanted time in years. So all we have to do now is we substitute for our variable. That means interest is equal to 1,000 times 0.06 times 4. And we multiply. So the interest earned per year would be 200. The interest earned after 4 years would be $240. Correct? I already did right here. Moved it to space. Yes? So what would the interest be? What would the interest be after 8 years? So we would have to say 1,000 times 0.06 times 8. So the interest after 8 years would be $480. What would be the interest after 1 year? What do we have to do? 1,000 times 0.06 times 1. So interest after 1 year, it would be $60. In simple annual interest, it means that the interest you make on the money is not gaining any interest. So if we wanted to know how much interest after 2 years, could we already tell how much interest after 2 years? 120. So it would be the same amount of interest every year. This bond or this paper document will be earning $60, right? Yes. And it's called simple annual interest because the principal, you do not add the previous interest to the principal. So it's always the principal. Only the principal is making interest. And that's the reason. The balance of an account that earns simple annual interest is the sum, which just means adding, of the principal and the interest. So as we can see in this formula, balance is equal to the principal plus The interest, isn't this the formula for interest? Okay. So A for balance, P for principal, R for rate as a decimal, and T for time in years. Can you find the balance of an account that has a principal of $1,000 at a 2.5% rate for 2 years? Which formula would we use? A equals P plus interest, which is PRT. So what is your principal? 1,000 plus the principal 1,000. The rate, we use it as a decimal, so that means 0.025, and time in years is 2. Yes or no? So we work this out, we get 1,000 plus 1,000 times 0.025 times 2, so that means 1,000 plus 50. It means that the balance in the account would be $1,050. If we try working out this same problem with the other formula, balance equals the principal times 1 plus the rate times the time. The principal is 1,000 times 1 plus the rate 0.025 times time, which is 2 years. We work this out. 1,000 times 1 plus the 1,000 times 1.050, and we can see that using either of the two formulas we get the same result.